lately in my phone. I don't know if you've seen it or not. On YouTube, Shine has posted a lot of the girls' promos leading up to Destination Shine, and the newest one. I'm not gonna review it because I want people to go and watch the promo. But yeah, I'm putting it away for Saturday. So if you watch the promo, you're gonna find it what I want to do. So everyone who's listening, so right now YouTube, under Shine Wrestling page, and I think it's like the third one down, like the pixelated. And you're gonna find out what I mean. For me, I'm kind of coming in with a little bit extra gear, a little more raised, a little bit more badassery, I would say. So
That is awesome, and I'm definitely looking forward to Shine Wrestling this Saturday night. Um, it's been around for a lot of months now. I guess 7, 8 months to be exact. This is the eighth show. It's become the fastest rising women wrestling show, and it's growing like show after show. More big names are coming in, and for my understanding, on Shine Wrestling 7, or better yet, the last couple of Shine shows, it's been a trending topic on Twitter. You know, Twitter is big, and by the way, Twitter it is its seventh birthday as of today. But that's besides the
wow,
point. Yeah, Twitter is 7 years old. You being a part of the show and all. I mean, what's your reaction to to see a show like Shine be a trending topic on Twitter?
that's awesome and deserving because the girls, everyone actually, the promoters, the guys who help put it all together, all of us, we work our butts off for Shine because Shine is something we truly so passionate about. It's not one of those it's kind of a show, get my get a pay and leave. This is a company that we have input in. We actually can do what we want and have our say. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those sometimes show up, all right, here's your story, here's the script, whatever. But this one is like, well, what do you want to do? And just to have that freedom, it's just amazing. And I'm totally in awe that like the fans are behind it and they're with us. So the fact that it's trending on Twitter is awesome because it's so deserving, so deserving. We put so much effort into this, and it's just so rewarding that people giving that back to us.
Not only is Sean is trending on Twitter, but it's more of a trending topic, dare I say, SmackDown on Friday night. So when you got a show like Shine to be a more of a trending topic than the almighty WWE, I mean, that's saying something. Considering it's an all women's wrestling show, and we all know WWE and how they're not much of a high priority when it comes to women's wrestling anyway. So that's saying something.
That definitely does say something because honestly, I mean, it shows that people really do care about heart more so than corporation. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's okay to like the big company's products. There's nothing wrong with it, but just the fans actually want to see women wrestling and want to see women actually do something than just stand there and be pretty. So I think that says something. The the public, the populace is ready. They're ready for us, and I don't think corporate knows that, and that does say something. And I think maybe they should start paying attention because don't get me wrong, I like watching men's wrestling. I like watching women's wrestling, but definitely on the higher quote unquote levels, it's definitely we're lacking that. And the fact that Shine can bring that to the masses is just is really really cool to see that that's actually trending more so because that's what people want. That's what's missing. So I love it. I love that Shine's bringing people what it's missing.
For more info on Shine Wrestling, you can check it out on shinewrestling.com. And if you are unable to attend the show this Saturday night, you can actually watch it on iPay-per-view at the following website. I believe it's wwnlive.com. Go to
It is.
yeah, so wwnlive.com if you want to watch it from your computer or your laptop or anything that requires internet. So go check it out. You won't be disappointed. Leva, other than Shine Wrestling, do you have any other upcoming wrestling shows?
Um, I have a lot actually. WrestleCon is just around the corner, and I'm booked on both Shimmer and Indie Girls for that. Plus, it's just a huge weekend of wrestling, so it's just gonna be amazingly fun. And then the week immediately after is Shimmer, and the week after that already Shine again. So it's gonna be a lot of back to back to back. Oh my God, what's going on? So I have a feeling that most of the month of April I'm gonna be sore.
That's good. That's good. I mean, the more the merrier. I guess that's what they say. And we talked last time, and this is what I want to bring up. Everybody talks about your costumes and outfits, and I love them as well. I love your fighting spirit. I love when you're in that ring, you're competing, you bring a lot of joy into the action and the characters that you portray. I mean, it's fun to watch, and I feel like you are a big time. Like you've been around for a few years now, and you're only getting better. And I just gotta say, as a fan, I mean, watching from afar, I definitely respect everything that you've done. And you're fun, you're entertaining, and I got a lot of respect for you, Leva Bates. And I just keep doing you, keep doing you.
Well, thank you. That's actually really, really terrific to hear because, especially with the costumes, sometimes they're really easy and maybe I'll get a costume already made, but most of the time I put them together. When I do matches, especially like stipulation type matches, I study. I study. I've been studying like the I Quit match. I do one every day, at least one every day, if not multiple ones, or weapons matches, And then before that was last man standing matches. So the thing is, I put in a lot of work and a lot of effort, and I really have no free time, hardly at all. So the fact that all this hard work, people are actually appreciating it, is makes it worth it. It makes me going, well, I wish I could see you guys. I wish we could hang out more, but I can't. I gotta do this. I got sewing to do. Like, actually, was at one of my friends was her last night bartending. I went really early to support her because there's a last night and I haven't actually got to see her do her thing. So I went and supported her, but I had to leave early because I still had more sewing to do, and I just had so many other things to get ready for Shine, for Shimmer. So it's just like, all right, I gotta go, but I'm glad I got to come. So the fact that I put in 110% for this, and the fact that people, like what you just said, completely made it worth it. It makes it worth it. It makes it worth all the hard work to see that people do appreciate it. So thank you for that. I really actually needed that. It's good to hear. It's good to hear that it's worth it.
It's all from the heart. It's all for the soul. And I love I love it. That's all I can say. I love it. And
Well, thank
you
you.
and what you mentioned, you wish you can be there, for your family and your friends. And wrestling, it comes with sacrifices. Like you're not gonna be able to be there for every single person, because you pursuing your dreams and everything. And I mean, how difficult is that? You doing what you love to do for a living, and it comes with sacrifices, and you're not be able to spend time with your family and your friends like you used to.
Exactly. So, but it really is worth it to hear hear it from peers and friends and fans and, even like casual people like, wait, what was that? That's really freaking cool. Like people just passing out. Is that the scarecrow? That's really creepy and awesome. Like stuff like that. Like, all right, cool. People get it. People are getting it. People are behind it. They understand it. So that's awesome. So yeah, it's wow. Thank you.
By the way, people, you can follow Leva on Twitter at Wrestling Leva. That's at Wrestling Leva. Check out her tweets and her admiring her comics and everything. And it's a lot of fun. So follow Leva on Twitter at Wrestling Leva. So you've had the pleasure of facing a lot of top female wrestlers throughout your career, from the indies to the big leagues. Is there any other female wrestlers out there, whether it's on the indie scene or whether it was on the big leagues, that you haven't had a chance to wrestle but would like to be in the ring with someday?
Wow, that's a really good one. Well, it kind of sucks because I've kind of missed the boat on that because she's no longer performing. But one of my all-time favorites is Daphne. I remember, you know, younger and before I even thought about really like wrestling as an actual like, I could actually do it. I just loved wrestling. I would watch like WCW during the Monday Night Wars, and I just thought like this crazy girl that came out Crowbar was freaking awesome because that was so different than anyone else had been doing. It was all the Trishas and the Stacy Keeblers and all the pretty Barbies, and this girl would come out and scream, and she kind of had an edge to her, and I just really kind of always like once I started wrestling, I was like, oh, I gotta wrestle Daphne. We've done customs in the past, but to really do a full like match, like somewhere like Shimmer or Shine or something, but we never really got to, and now she's no longer wrestling, so I kind of missed the boat on that, but at least I get to work with her every month with Vin Shine, and that's really freaking cool because she has such a good mind for the business. And she has so much experience and just so many stories. So it's really, really cool that I get to work with her. There's so many. That's Phoenix. I think, like she started off in Shimmer and then got to go to WWE. Now that she's gone, and she's actually like someone I can maybe work with one day. So that'd be really cool to work her. I would love to work. I don't know if it's ever possible now that she's a trainer. I'd love to do another match with Sarah Del Rey as well. But it was really cool to get to work with her once, but I really would love to do it again. Now that I've grown, God, there's so many. Like, I would love to work Tara. Because I remember, again, she's another one that I thought was like, what, she has edge. She's different than all the other girls, especially when I was growing up. I want to, it'd be cool to finally get to work her as well. So there you go.
So we got Daphne, got a lot of respect for her, and like you said, she's somewhat against the grain. She's totally different, and she definitely screams a lot, but her screaming but her wrestling is just as effective as her screaming. So people better not underestimate her. Then you got Beth. Then you have Beth Phoenix. I guess she's technically a free agent right now, and I don't know if she's gonna come back or not. But I guess she's enjoying life after wrestling at the moment. More power to her. I would definitely love to see you and Sarah Del Rey again. I've seen some of your matches, and they were great. And Tara, it's incredible late in her career, and she's still competing on a high level. So I love Tara. I met her a couple of times. She's a sweetheart.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, she's a total sweetheart. Every time I've done something with TNA, she's always been just completely like one of the nicest, coolest people backstage. Like she kind of was like, "Hey, come here. I'm gonna take you under my wing, and we're gonna be friends." I'm like, "You are awesome. Thank you." So awesome to have such a welcoming, warm aura to come into. So like that's another reason why I would love to work her one day, just because she is just so genuinely nice and a good person.
She could definitely be like a welcome committee. Regardless, I mean, she's definitely that first person that I think a lot of people should go to, and she definitely welcome anyone with open arms. Most definitely. So, I'm sure you're all aware of the whole gut check and everything. Has have you have any chance went to a tryout or anything like that? Is that something you see yourself doing?
Um, honestly, I just never really had a desire to do the gut check. I mean, I would if I was approached, like, hey, Leva, would you want to do a gut check? But it just, I don't know. It's just kind of, I think I've kind of already been there several times doing things with them. So coming in as a gut check would kind of seem weird. You know what I mean? Because they've already used me like 3 times. So why would you bring someone in that you've already used? I don't know. Maybe it can work into a story. You know, and like if it made sense, yeah. But if it's like, hey, come in. You know what I mean? It just I've been used there before, so and technically, why would I mean? If you look at the storyline, why would Hogan and Sting allow me to come back? I sprayed them in the face with mace. So I mean, it just doesn't. Gut check just isn't the way for me to get in. You know what I mean?
That is a good point. That the whole spraying the mace. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess
Yeah, they
that.
actually just re-aired that tonight. I'm I'm actually at Gabriel Iglesias' show with a bunch of friends, and I my phone started blowing up in the middle of like one of the opening comics acts, and I kind of just glanced down to see what's going on, and it's like just saw Leva respray Hogan is saying Leva Aces Eights, Aces Eights, Leva. I'm like, whoa, okay, yes, that's just re-aired. So I'm like, let me put that on, do not disturb real quick.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I'm like, yep, must got re-aired.
yeah.
Wait, I mean, who is that girl? I don't know who that girl is.
Hey, they know not to mess with you. I mean, don't let
Right?
don't let the costumes fool you. I
Them
mean,
30 seconds, take him out.
yeah, you seize the moment. There you go. Leva, this is the 100 show, and I've had a lot of moments throughout the 100 shows I've done, and obviously you right up there interviewing you not once but now twice. And all I can say is good luck in your match this Sunday up against Kimberly. Good luck to you on your upcoming appearances and your wrestling career going forward. Again, follow Leva Bates at Wrestling Leva. And again, thank you for your time. Thank you for being part of this celebration. I truly appreciate it. I'm gonna go and
Oh,
let you
thank
go.
you.
I'm gonna go and let you go. I'm gonna go and let you.
Okay, well, thank you for having me. I appreciate, especially on such a special occasion, you having me here.
Thank you so much. You have a good night.
All right, you too, hon.
All right, bye bye.
Bye.
That was Leva Bates joining me here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio's 100 show. I realized a little bit early on the interview, she kind of like a robot. I don't know if it was because of my end or her end. I don't know, but the last 15 some minutes, um, things sounded a lot better. So I don't know what was that all about. Gotta love technology. Shout out to Leva Bates. Sean Wrestling this Saturday. That will be at I believe starting at 7:30. You can check it out, SeanWrestling.com for more details. And if you're unable to attend the show in person, you can check it from your computer or laptop, WWNlive.com. And who knows? You may see it trending again. Hashtag Shine8. And that's big. That's big. A little bit later on the show, I will be joined with Sassy Steffi, one half of the Tag Team Champions, WSU Tag Team Champions, 1/3 of Midwest Militia. Gonna be joined with Miss Natural, and I will be joined with WOW Tag Team Champion Amber O'Neil. She's joining me, and I guess I'll make her feel welcome at home, considering she she used to do a show that was late at this time anyway. So I guess for one night, Miss Amber O'Neil, you get to hear her on Thursday nights a little bit late. I want to thank you all for taking the time off your March Madness Thursday and joining me for this celebration. I want to thank Jeff, who was a co-host of the show from the very beginning. I truly appreciate Jeff. Um, he's a wrestling fan like myself. We did the show together. He was there for most of the first year, and I ended up taking over for the remaining term, and I'm still doing this show. It's amazing that it's hard to believe that I never thought I would do 100 shows of anything. Now I can say I'm doing two different shows that have reached the 100 mark. Two different shows. You can follow me on Twitter at TTW Radio. Subscribe to YouTube, youtube.com/TTW Radio. And like the show on Facebook, facebook.com/Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. Those are the only social media links you can catch us on. This show will be back to 1 hour long next week. We got another celebration coming up. And I believe Sassy Steffi's calling me right now. Let's get on. Caller, you're live on the air on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio's 100 show. I believe I'm joined with Sassy Steffi.
You would be correct.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, nothing. Just packing for vacation.
Well, I appreciate you taking time prior to your vacation and joining me on this occasion. That is the 100 show. Thank you for being on.
Of course, anytime. If I'm available, I'm more than willing to come on.
Well, let's go ahead and begin. First time I interview you, we focus on your wrestling career. This time around, I want to focus on your WSU days, and you currently one half of the tag team champions, 1/3 of Midwest Militia with Allison Kay and Jessica Havoc, the most dominant female wrestling group in all of wrestling right now. I mean, how do you feeling, with all the championships y'all have and the dominance y'all have done on WSU? How y'all feeling about what y'all have done and accomplished thus far?
Well, to first off be able to go out and perform with two of my best friends in wrestling and in life in general, that's probably the best part of being in the Midwest Militia. Allison and Jessica and I are friends outside of wrestling. It's not just in the ring. And to go out and be able to dominate the way that we do with, having the friendship as well, it's really reassuring. And, it really puts, I think, a confidence in us because we know each other inside and outside of the ring that, we know that we can rely on one another. It's not like, hey, this person's my tag partner, but they live across the country and whatever. I know I can trust these girls. They know they can trust me. And I think that's really a lot of what makes us so successful is that we actually are based in, people are like, oh, well, how did the Midwest Militia, form? Like, how did that happen? I'm like, we were three people coming from the Midwest going to WSU. We were alienated by the girls. So, obviously we were pushed together already. Not pushed together. We were put together, driving together. We were already friends prior to that. And then just with those girls being, vicious towards us as far as like, we're not going to give you a place to stay or, we're all cliquey in the locker room. That just reinforced why, we are who we are at WSU. They kind of, brought it upon themselves, I guess you could say.
Obviously WSU mostly focus on the northern eastern part of the United States, and to see you, Jessica, and Allison from the Midwest come in and not only perform well, but pretty much have every single championship. I mean, that's saying something. Like, I guess not to say it's like a East Coast West Coast bias type of thing, but y'all came in there, y'all were on a mission, and y'all executed, and uh, that's saying something. I mean, y'all on top of that company right now. I mean, every single championship. I mean, that speaks volumes.
Absolutely. And like I said, the WSU girls pretty much brought it on themselves. Like, I mean, a lot of people talk about war games and how it was Team WSU versus the Midwest Militia. Well, that even though it might have been our idea to go as far as the war games, that was something that happened because these girls alienated us. They were in their little clique, and we're not going to talk to the Midwest girls because they don't belong here because they're from somewhere else.
So you're from Ohio, Jessica's from Ohio, and Allison is from Michigan. Um, I'm sure every now and then, I mean, y'all best friends inside and outside the ring and all, but I'm sure y'all bust each other chops over the whole Ohio State and Michigan thing, right?
Well, not really, actually. Um, I'm a huge sports fan, and I'm big into the Ohio State Michigan rivalry, but they don't really get too much into the sports like I do. I mean, they enjoy sports obviously, and wrestling is obviously all three of our passion. But as far as like Ohio State Michigan rivalry, that's we've never really busted each other's chops about that or anything at all. Like, I mean, it is what it is. That has nothing to do with us, and we just go about our way.
Well, with that said, we'll get back to wrestling in just a moment, but I'm sure you are aware of what happened yesterday. With a certain individual came back to Cleveland and how that all how did that all transpire? It was it would definitely go down as one of the most dramatic moments in the NBA season, and that was a crazy game. I mean, how are you holding along after what transpired yesterday?
Well, I'm not a huge NBA fan, but I do follow that kind of really closely. The Cavs Heat rivalry, or more so, it's not really the Heat that we have Heat with. I guess you would say it's just LeBron, like the way. And a lot of people don't understand this, but they get different media coverage than our immediate area. And I have a little bit of media experience, so I can kind of look at it from both standpoints. But for me, I live 10 minutes away from where LeBron James grew up, went to school. I know the neighborhoods well. It's not far away. And to see somebody, we in this area, especially the Akron area, we're so proud of who we are and where we come from. And, like, the Akron area is just expanding, leaps and bounds, day by day. And so is the Cleveland area. Northeast Ohio is becoming a premier spot. And I'm not just saying that because I'm from here. It actually is true. Um, and to see him go back to, the decision and disrespect us the way that he did, and people are like, oh, he has to move on. I understand that as an athlete. Obviously, I didn't stay in Ohio. I went to WSU and started winning championships. Like, I got moving elsewhere to, further your career. But the way he handled it was very, to me, disrespectful to where he came from, especially people who are so proud to be from this area. Oh, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. I'm going to make a big ESPN special out of this. And then, like, I don't know, last night before the show, no, or before the game, I wasn't there, but one of my friends had put on his Facebook that LeBron came out and said that the Cavs have no respect. Like, we have no respect. Well, I mean, I'm not a Cav, but you know what I mean. As a
Right.
fan, I'm like,
Hmm.
what do you mean we have no respect? You're the one that disrespected us by the way you treated us who were so loyal to you for, ever since you started growing up and, started to become the star that you are. And then And then, of course, travesty happened when Cavs are leading by 27 in the third quarter, and then they lose by 3. But, I mean, for most of us here in Cleveland, we're kind of used to disappointments, as far as that's concerned.
Well, I live in Ohio. I lived in Columbus for about 4 years. I lived in Cincinnati for about 7 years. And I have paid attention to the Cleveland moments, and it's tough. And I hope Cleveland will finally get that championship. I mean, unless you want to count the Miz, I mean, he was WWE champion. He's Cleveland, I guess, but
Well, I mean, a lot of people don't even realize that there's a lot more guys from Cleveland than just The Miz. They
yeah,
just don't kind of state that in their stats. But Dolph Ziggler, hailing from Hollywood, Florida, is actually from Lakewood, which is a suburb of Cleveland. Um, and, just to go through the whole state, Dean Ambrose is from Cincinnati. Madison Rain is from the central Ohio area. I mean, there's a lot of great, not only sports talent as far as like NBA, NFL that come from this area. There's a lot of great wrestling talent that is based here in Ohio, and it's amazing. I mean, HWA down in Cincinnati, up to Cleveland, where there's just a variety of different promotions there, and I mean, there's so much talent in Ohio that I don't think people realize. And then you obviously in wrestling never necessarily get where these people really are coming from unless you really do your homework. But there's so much talent, and it's kind of awesome when I'll see somebody tweet something like, "They're just awesome wrestlers from Ohio," and they'll say so and so, so and so, and it lists like me and Jessica. And I'm like, wow, we're not even on the same, TV level as a Madison Rain, a Dolph Ziggler, a Miz, Dean Ambrose, but yet we're being mentioned in that same category because people respect us as wrestlers. It's really awesome.
as a former Ohio resident, I'm proud of you all. Just to see y'all getting y'all shine. I mean, I live in Kentucky, and I like Kentucky, but I love Ohio, and I miss it dearly. I wish I can come back and make new memories there. I definitely miss Ohio so much. So, what are some upcoming wrestling shows you have coming up there, Steffi?
Well, this weekend I'm on vacation, but next weekend I will be at Femme Fatale up in Montreal, in Canada. And then the week after that is WrestleMania weekend. Then the weekend after that is Shimmer. After that, I have a match. It's like southeast of Pittsburgh, which is going to be a hardcore match with a girl who's up and coming in the business named Darcy Dixon. And if anybody's familiar with Resistance Pro, she is she's learning leaps and bounds, and she's doing amazing out there in Chicago for Resistance. And then the week after that, which would take me to the end of April, I will be wrestling Christina Von Erie for Remix Pro down in Marietta, Ohio. So I'm going to be bouncing all over the place. So it's going to be pretty awesome.
And to all the listeners out there, you can follow Steffi on Twitter at Sassy Steffi. Be on the lookout for the upcoming shows, as she mentioned. I got off the phone with Leva Bates earlier, and I believe she's going to be a Shimmer as well. What around that time? So, who knows? You never know.
Right, and Leva, I cannot say enough good words about Leva. She's one of those people that you meet and you never forget. Like, she's such a sweetheart, and what you see in the ring is exactly what you get in person as well. She's such an amazing person.
She's definitely had the bubbly personality, and I just admire her. And it's not just her outfits per se. It's her wrestling ability and her fighting spirit. Like, she's gonna give it all she got.
Right, and that's one thing, like, I don't know, for me personally, like, I think more people look at Leva for her costumes and what she's going to come out with next than her actual wrestling talent. But I mean, she is phenomenal in the ring. I've seen her have some really outstanding matches with outstanding people, and I mean, that just, a lot of people say you're only as good as your opponent, and I think that speaks a lot for Leva because she just constantly goes out and has great matches. And like I said, I can't say enough good things about Leva. She's one of my favorite people in the wrestling business.
So, Steffi, you also mentioned that you've been doing some broadcasting. I noticed you did a show. I think it was last year or something like that. I know you obviously that's something you want to do at some point. But do you consider yourself maybe being like a announcer, like an analyst, commentator in wrestling when your wrestling career is all said and done? Is that something you consider doing once your career is over as a wrestler?
Yeah, yeah, I would like to do commentary, but really, I'm really fond of like backstage production. For example, today I did, and for people who don't understand, this is going to be kind of over their head, so I'll kind of explain this as simple as I can. I did a TEDx talk, which is it was at the Cleveland Art Museum, and what it is it's an event that inspires entertainment, design, and it's amazing. And you have all these different speakers who come out, and they have about a 15-minute speech talking about different things in art and design and entertainment, and it's awesome. If you can look up TED Talks, I'm guaranteeing you'll find something that you'll find very entertaining. But I was back in the back portion when the video feed comes in live. It goes on this particular system to a TriCaster, and I was on the TriCaster doing the technical directing, and I had the director telling me what camera shot he wanted next, and I would just punch in the buttons and, crossfade and all of that kind of good jazz. And I love that whole aspect of the production, the live side of it, and clicking to different, and I could do my own directing, but, they happen to hire their own director, which is fine. I can take direction as well. And it was so much fun. Like, it's living the dream for me to just sit there and play at, the TriCaster or different, boards and be able to, see what's going on creatively on stage and being able to take my own shots and figure out what I want creatively as a vision to go out to the viewers.
Well, check you out there, Miss Sassy Steffi.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, they don't get the opportunity to, experience so many different things in their life. I get to live the dream by doing, wrestling not all the time, not every day or anything like that, but I get to, go out and see the world and wrestle and have a blast doing that. But I also get to go out and see the world and do it from behind the camera doing production as well. Last fall I did an event called Fireball Run, which is a car rally, not a race. And it was a 9-day journey, and I broadcasted that anywhere from 3 to 5 shows a day live on their internet stream, but it's also being filmed by a film crew who is now in post-production working on putting that together for the DVD that will be released in October of last year's event. And it's really cool, and I've always, I can't explain, I love traveling. I love being able to be a part of, the production side of things as well, and I love being in front of the camera. Basically, I'm a jack of all trades when it comes to this media thing out in the world. But I did, like you said, last year I had my own radio show. So, I can pretty much do anything, I think. Or if I can't do it, give me a couple minutes and I'll figure it out.
Hey, you're an Ohio girl. Ohio people, they get it done. They get the job done.
Exactly.
They get it done. So,
and people don't realize what a hotbed this is for entertainment. Coming up this spring, we have just one of a few that I can name of blockbuster movies coming to film in Cleveland, like Captain America, the next, The Winter Soldier, I think is the name of this one. It's coming to Cleveland to film. There's so much entertainment here just in Cleveland that people don't realize. And they're like, oh, well, you do movies in Cleveland? Yes, I do. Trust me. There's lots of things that come here. Avengers was here, just 2 or 3 years ago when they were filming, and they were also in Cleveland. So
That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Um, you accomplished a lot throughout your career in wrestling world, and you have a sky's the limit for you going forward. Um, what's left for you to accomplish in your wrestling career? I know your friend and fellow Midwest Militia teammate Jessica Havett. She's the current WSU champion. You've you are currently a tag team champion. You're a former Spirit champion. You almost got the trifecta. Obviously, even with your friend being the champion, or um, other than pursuing for that main championship, what are some other goals you'd like to accomplish in your wrestling career?
well, I mean, like you said, pretty much the sky is the limit. Anywhere. I basically my biggest goal right now is I want to wrestle in all 50 states. I think I'm somewhere around 14 or 15 right now. Um, but pretty much anywhere from the Mississippi River over to Las Vegas is empty. There's I've not wrestled in like Nebraska or Wisconsin or well, I mean that's a little more east, but Colorado and stuff like that. Like I would really, I mean, I guess that's my biggest goal right now is I'd like to wrestle all 50 states. I mean, because I've already accomplished wrestling internationally. I've been to England and of course Canada, which I'll be at next weekend as well. But I still want to go more international. I'd love to go to Japan. I'd love to go to Mexico. Love to go to Germany, Australia. I mean, there's so many places, and being at a place like WSU and a place like Shimmer and Femme Fatale, I've had an opportunity to meet and wrestle some of the girls from these countries. So, who knows? Maybe, within 6 months I'll be in Japan. Maybe in 8 months I'll be in Canada. Maybe, in 10 months I'll be in Germany. Like all these places that I've named. I mean, you just really never know. And, if there's an opportunity, somebody contacts me and they're like, we want to bring you here. As soon as we get all the details worked out, I'm like, all right, let's do this because I want to just see the world as well as wrestle and have fun. And I'm just having fun. I think that's, the best part of wrestling is, it's something I'm passionate about. And I'm 6 years in and I'm still having a blast. And, I wouldn't change one day of it.
I can see it now. Sassy Steffi taking over one city, state, country, continent at a time. I could definitely see it. Yeah, you have what it takes. I believe in you, and Ohio, we're gonna root for you. Um, Steffi, I want to thank you so much for joining me prior to your vacation. I appreciate you. I appreciate the Midwest Militia. Shout out to Allison and Jessica. Just thank you for being on. Great talking to you again, and sky's the limit for you. I'll say it again for the hell of it. Sky's the limit. Thank you. Thank you for your time, and keep representing OHIO. Keep on representing.
Of course, and thank you for having me, and congratulations on your 100th show.
Thank you so much, Steffi. You have a great vacation, and you have a good night.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. That was Sassy Steffi, one half of the WSU Tag Team Champions, bringing her presence here on show number 100. And it's great talking to Sassy. People don't understand. I live in Kentucky, but I still got some Ohio in me. Like I lived in Ohio 1/3 of my life. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of experience, and it was good to talk to her about a variety of topics other than wrestling because she has accomplished a lot throughout her career. And that's a pretty good goal. Especially for someone for the indie circuit. You want to get yourself out there. You don't want to just stick to the same state, same city, same companies, face the same people. You want to expand, and that's what she's doing. And then she's got the broadcasting gig, broadcasting that she's working on as well. I mean, wow, this woman going places. Still to come, I'll be joined Miss Natural, top of the hour. Then I'll be joined with Amber O'Neal, WOW Tag Team Champion. I'm just bringing back some people from the past, y'all. Hope y'all enjoy what y'all hear thus far. And I hope you all can bear with me because this is the first show I've been using Ustream in 9 months. Like for the last nearly 2 years. I simulcast using I simulcast Ustream while I was on ITMI radio. So now here I am using ITMI radio for the first time. And please believe that these shows will be uploaded on YouTube. The interviews, I just have to do things slightly different. I got to do things definitely slightly different. And while I got 11 minutes before Miss Natural calls in, I'm going to go ahead and get into the recapping here. God almighty. Let's go ahead and recap SmackDown last Friday. Because of work, I was only able to watch like an hour and a half rather than the whole 2 hours. You got Orton and Sheamus defeated Rose Scholars. The Shield issued a challenge to Orton and Sheamus to face off at WrestleMania. All Orton and Sheamus needed was a tag team partner of their choosing. Now, it would have been easy and obvious for them to pick Big Show after all that's going on between them. Miz goes on to defeat Darren Young. Sheamus and Orton select Ryback to be their tag team partner for the 6-man tag team match at WrestleMania. Shout out to Dean Ambrose, Weapon Ohio, making his WrestleMania debut this year with Rollins and Reigns. You know, there's some things I know, there's some things I didn't know. I know Madison Wayne, Weapon Ohio. I know Havoc and Allison. Havoc's from Ohio. Allison is Weapon, Michigan. But as I was saying, it's good to see some people out there representing, doing their thing. Also, Dolph Ziggler defeated Kane. It was a big week for Mr. Money in the Bank. He defeated Bryan and Kane on the same week. So Dolph Ziggler was in a bit of a losing streak, but he's getting that winning streak back, getting some momentum. Caitlyn and Layla goes on to defeat Tamina and Oksana. But Caitlyn was about to go for the win for her team. Layla tags in and pretty much pick up the pieces. It's pretty obvious. Caitlyn's the champion. She's going to be a target. And I guess for people that's thinking that the Divas Championship is finally going to be on the line, I don't see that happening now. Because there's a report that there will be an 8-Diva tag team match at WrestleMania with a special guest celebrity. That's all I know. I'm reading the tweets on my timeline. I just don't know who. We don't do spoilers on this show. That's not how we do it. Del Rio, Alberto Del Rio and Ricardo Rodriguez continues to mock the videos from Swagger and Zeb Coulter, bringing their Mexican twist to it. I think I like the second video better than the first one. Ricardo, man, Ricardo is hilarious as hell. I gotta hand it to that dude. He is something else. He's a trip. Oh, he's a trip, man. Great Khali versus, I'm not gonna pronounce his name the way that he does. Fandango. Fandango takes a U-turn at this one, all because he doesn't like how his name's being pronounced, and it is getting annoying, but he is getting your attention. I mean, that is kind of the point in the wrestling business. Sometimes you be great, sometimes you can be entertaining, and then there's times you can be annoying as hell. But you get the people's attention. That's all that matters. Yes, indeed, that's all that matters. Sorry if I'm getting too close to the microphone. So, after the Shield here, that Ryback was going to join forces with Sheamus and Orton. The Shield take matters into their own hands, went on to attack Orton and Sheamus, and they ended up attacking Ryback as well. Ryback versus Mark Henry. That match ended in a DQ. Ryback being the victor. Victory! The Shield attacked Ryback, and then Mark Henry attacked him as well. Attacked him as well. Oh, in the main event, Jack Swagger taking on Chris Jericho. In the end, Swag gets the job done. And from my understanding, Swagger and Jericho will have a rematch next Friday on SmackDown. So, say what you want about Swagger and the mistake he made, but WWE obviously believe in the dude. Otherwise, he will be suspended by now. He will not have a WrestleMania match at all. That's all I'm saying. You know, it's good and bad. It's good because they believe in you. You come back after a 5-6 month hiatus and they got you planning for big things. And it's tough because you made a mistake. You embarrassed yourself. You embarrassed the company. You know, it's like any other business. Like, go out there, handle your business, stay out of trouble. And you do know WWE has that drug testing. You got caught DUI and marijuana possession. Keep that in mind. So what happens if a wrestler from the WWE roster make a mistake, and it was their, regardless what, if it was their first mistake or second or so forth? Think about this for a second, ladies and gentlemen. What would have happened if some other wrestler from the WWE made the same mistake that Jack Swagger did? Would they get a pass? Will WWE not suspend that person? Think about that for a moment. Think about that. That's going to conclude my SmackDown recap. I will get to the Raw recap in a little bit. I'm hoping I get a phone call from Miss Natural in about a few minutes. I'm also going to be joined with Amber O'Neal at 11:30 p.m. I'm here till midnight, so I appreciate y'all taking time off your March Madness opening night. Let's keep it real. Not a whole lot of people watch those other games anyway. Coming up on April the 11th, another milestone for Triple Threat. It will be our 2-year anniversary show. That's coming up. 2-year anniversary. I can now confirm Andrew Painter and Paris Kelly in the first hour. Second hour, NWA Women's Champion Casey Carlisle and Indie Pro Wrestler, the leader of the Lemon Ninjas. That will be Miss Ada Marie. She's called in as well. So tune in for that. Miss Natural, I hope she'll be able to call in shortly. Still got Raw Recap, Main Event, and Impact as well. You know what? I may go past midnight because it's my show and I can. So this is our new home. If you noticed, you know what? I'm going to do something real quick. Because I noticed, because of this pop filter in front of the microphone, I'm looking at my Ustream broadcaster thingy, and it's not getting as loud as I thought it would be. Guest number 3 is calling in right now. I believe this is Miss Natural. Let's get on. Hello, Miss Natural.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing real good. Thank you for joining me on this 100 show.
Yeah, my pleasure, definitely.
So let's go ahead and begin, Miss Natural. You know, you're one of my favorite peoples I've interviewed throughout the 100 shows.
Awesome.
And you know, your style, your presence, your longevity. You've been in business for over a decade.
It makes me sound old, huh?
Hey, you know, let's put it this way: you're like a fine wine. You get better with age. You know.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, at this point of your career, you know, all you have done, all you accomplished. How are you feeling right now?
Not bad. I mean, the knees and back are still holding up, so I'm pretty happy with that. Can't complain.
So
Can't complain.
So I read on your face profile you got a lot of things coming up. You got some matches. Why don't you go ahead and talk about at least the matches you have coming up in the coming weeks?
Oh man, actually right now I'm back home in Minnesota, and I'm actually going to be here this weekend watching quite a few of the guys that are my buddies and everything. They're going to be working on Jerry Lynn's show. So I'm just going to be hanging out watching. Man, I actually got the next 2 weekends off, or this weekend and next weekend off. Next weekend I'm going to be going down to Springfield, Missouri to hang out with Matt Riviera watching his traditional championship wrestling. He's got an amazing product, and I've had the honor of working for him too. So, I mean, he's just got a great company, great mind, very, very professional setup there. Darn, I gotta think of what I got going on. Hold on, I gotta actually look at my Facebook. That's where I got all my information on. If it wants to cooperate with me.
Hey, take your time. Take your time. Technology blows sometimes. It definitely does.
I know. And then on top of it, I just got this Samsung Galaxy 3. Like, I had the iPhone 4, and which I really love the iPhone, but I was hanging out with Derek King back in January, and I saw his iPhone 5, and yeah, it wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Isn't that every woman's dream right there?
Wow.
Sorry, probably inappropriate, but.
No, it's okay. It's not a problem. We're no FCC show around here. You know, if you feel the need to curse, go right ahead. I mean, it don't matter to me. You know, no one's control of me. Damn it. So you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I haven't had enough beer in for me to. Well, I don't know. I can drop the F-bomb a lot. You know what? My phone's not working for me, and I can't see my schedule. That stinks. I mean, I can. I haven't got the phone call yet for Shimmer, but I'm holding those dates aside. So once I get the phone, you know, I'm anticipating a phone call to go back in April. And hopefully make a debut in AAW in Chicago as well. I mean, that would be great. So I'm trying to think of what else I got in April. I'll be working back for Harley Races WOW against facing Stacey O'Brien. I believe they have that big Eldon show, which I think that's the 27th of April. Yeah, it's the 27th of April. Yeah, because the 26th I'll be in Cameron. Oh crud, I can't remember. But yeah, I think the 27th of April is when the Eldon, Missouri show is for Harley, and I'll be facing Stacey O'Brien. Very excited too because Ace Steel will be wrestling again that night too. I love his work. He's an amazing wrestler. He's the one who helped train Punk and Cabana and everything. I mean, just amazing. He's trained amazing workers too.
And
I wish I could remember.
You sound.
Oh, go ahead.
You're accurate. Just to let you know, I'm looking at your calendar as well.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, because I wasn't sure. Cameron, Missouri, is that on the 26th, right? The night before.
That's the 27th.
27th.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got to look at my calendar,
Yeah.
make sure I got everything straight. I know May 3rd or May 4th and 5th weekend, Trevor Murdoch and myself are going to be flying up to Minnesota and working in northern Minnesota by Duluth. It'll be in Clay for David Sabick, which, I mean, amazing promoter. I mean, he's putting on this huge show. Like I said, this weekend he's on that huge show for Jerry Lynn's retirement thing. So I mean, he does like, I don't know how many shows a year, but they're always big shows, and that's heavy on wrestling. And I'm trying to think. I know Goldust is going to be there, and I believe Shelly Martinez will be there also, along with Trevor Murdoch and myself on that card. So that I look forward to that one for sure. And then I believe like May 11th, I'll be up in South Dakota, Huron, South Dakota for 3XW. And then the weekend after that's my birthday weekend, so I haven't gotten booked for that one, and I might hold off on that weekend because time to spend with my daughter, so all the fun stuff. Yeah, I got a bunch, you know. I'm looking. I think I'm booked up. I got some open weekends, and I want to say like through July. I got quite a few shows going on. I know there's going to be an all-girls show, I believe, May 31st weekend. Yeah. It's May 31st in Charlestown, Indiana, just a little bit north of Louisville, and that's D1W. Madman Pondo, Crazy Mary, they're putting an all-girls show out together. I believe I'm facing Thunder Kitty on that one. And then the next night, shooting back to Kansas City, about 7.5 hours, maybe 8 hours, I don't even know, to Kansas City for Metro Pro Wrestling that next night. So busy. I love it. I love traveling. So I can't say that's the one reason I love this is I've been traveling since I was 19. I started when I was 19. I've been traveling pretty much ever since, and it's one thing that I love to do. Absolutely love to do.
To make a long story short, Miss Natural is going to be all over the place within the next few months. So make sure you check out those shows, everybody. Miss Natural is joining me here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio's 100 show at our new home, Ustream.tv. So, let me ask you this. You mentioned Jerry Lynn. He's pretty much doing like a farewell tour. Like he's done final shows for a couple of companies he's working with. How would you remember Jerry Lynn? He's definitely a guy of his size. He wasn't necessarily the biggest guy, but the guy can pull 5-star matches, and he's done that every field of wrestling he's been through. How would you remember Jerry Lynn?
I mean, just his wrestling ability, all in all. I mean, he's just an amazing wrestler. Actually, just had the pleasure of meeting him. I want to say it was March 1st. That was the first time I ever met him, and I mean, great, very, very a gentleman, But like his wrestling's amazing. He's a great wrestler. I mean, I love. I like guys like Nick Bockwinkel, like Kurt Hennig, because I love the chain wrestling. I'm a huge fan of just old school style. I mean, his wrestling's great. I mean, pretty much how I'm going to remember him because, like I said, I just met him like a month. Oh, wait, what is today? 3 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago, yeah. So, I mean, just his wrestling, it's going to carry on. Everybody looks up to him. I mean, everybody I talk to is just like, he's just a great guy overall.
He will definitely be missed, and I wish him a happy retirement. He's someone that went all in. He performed
Yeah.
to the best of his abilities, and he was sensational. And I definitely will miss Jerry. And thank you for the memories, Jerry. You definitely will be missed by all the true wrestling fans. And
Definitely.
so you mentioned old school, and I know there's a lot of old school people out there. They love wrestling, they appreciate it. And then you got wrestling today. It's obviously a lot different now than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. Being that you've been in the wrestling business for quite a while, what do you think is missing from wrestling? Is it like, I don't know, more talent, more training schools, or
oh man, I could probably rant on this for a while. I was just actually I think Trevor Murdoch and we just went down to a show in Tennessee last weekend, and oh man, I was telling him, I mean, he totally agrees too. Wrestling schools nowadays, they let anybody in. It's just like, there's just some people who don't need to be in this business. I mean, I think it's missing wrestling. It's actually missing wrestling. It's missing the stories, through the wrestling. I mean, not to knock people. Everybody has different styles. Like I was telling Trevor, I said, you go down south, like to Tennessee, I mean, they're more kicks, stomps, chokes. I said, you come up to where we're at, in the Missouri area, I said, it's more like Harley style, old school chaining, this and that. You go up north, it's more high spots and stuff. I mean, wrestling, it depends, because, I mean, it's all got its own style now, but I think a lot of it is it's missing the actual wrestling, telling a story, not to see who can do how many, I don't know, pile drivers, how many times, and stand up, and I don't know. It's just the believability. Man, I wish I don't know if I can pinpoint it, but like it's like what was it? This last December 1st in Eldon, Missouri. Harley had his watching Ace Steel versus William Regal. They didn't do. I mean, they were old school. I mean, they went a little over 15 minutes. The year before that, they went 28 minutes, and it was amazing. But like, it's kind of hard for a crowd to actually sit through it. And nowadays, I don't know. There's a lot of things that are, I don't know. I wish I could pinpoint it, but I'm not really good at explaining things, honestly. I'm a doer.
Hey, I completely understand where you're coming from. I guess, like you said, the story. It's like people are more caught up into the quote unquote soap operas than focusing on the match itself. I mean, because that's what it all boils down to. At the end of the day, me as a fan, you as a wrestler and a fan, that's what we all want to see. Like, okay, what's going on? Who's the good guys? Who's the bad guy? Babyface, heel, and all that stuff. Like, I get the characters and how they feel about a certain person and stuff like that. I mean, all that could be good and dandy, but if the wrestling match ain't up to what the storyline is, then it's hard to get it, feel the match, get into it, and it's hard to exactly.
Like on another thing, I will bash women's wrestling to Kingdom Come. I hate women's wrestling, absolutely hate it. And watching WWE, the divas, holy shit, they're the fucking drizzling shit. minus Natalia. I haven't watched WWE product in since July, and Natalia is the only one that can wrestle, and they don't even utilize her. Beth Phoenix, they never utilized her. You know, they always just kind of push them to the side. You know, girls like Kelly Kelly and hell, I don't even know who the hell is there. It's just because they're like tiny, petite little pieces of crap that can go out there. They look cute. I mean, I think they're cuter than hell, but they can't wrestle. And it's just like, seriously, no, everybody knows they're a joke, you know. I mean, I've talked to a lot of the guy wrestlers. I said, you know, every female wrestlers, the ones that can actually work, are usually bigger girls. You know, like, I mean, I don't want to say bigger girls because like Natalia and Beth aren't huge, you know, but you know, they're what, 140 to 155, but they're very fit. They're beautiful women. That's what a lot of guys want to see too, but they don't push it. They'd rather push the little bimbos that can half-assly work, that don't even have they got in one pinky. I don't know. They have no talent. You know, it's just, I know a lot of the guys that I talk to, they're tired of it. You know, they like the look of Natalia and Beth. You know, and they're beautiful women. They can work. They want to see girls who can work. You know, so it kind of sucks on that part. You know, too. You know, it's just, I think with women wrestling, they don't take those girls serious. They know they're there just to be a TNA show, and that's fine. I mean, I'm not knocking them. But as a wrestler, I mean, first and foremost, I'm a wrestler. I'm not a diva, bimbo walking out there. I know what I'm doing, you know, and I can tell a story. Those girls, if you threw them in the real world on the indie circuit, they won't even know what the hell to do. They won't be able to lead a match, you know, and like portray a story, you know, to the people. Because they're just trained to do like 2 minutes worth of moves, you know. The women's division is missing wrestling. That's what I love, like with Alundra Blaze, Victoria, Ivy. Was it Ivy, right?
Ivory. I think.
Ivory. I apologize on that because those girls. That's what sucks. Like WWE, like wiped all those girls out of there, and it's just like, what the hell are you doing? These women, they're strong, they're beautiful, they can work. You know, it's just like now the Divas division is, well, what they named it, Divas. I don't know. That's what I think with women's wrestling, it's just a joke. I mean, you can ask anybody. I mean, I got my ass beat by guys that were, you know, like Trevor size, 6'2", 240 pounds. I mean, I learned to work like a man, but I feel like I'm semi-feminine enough to have that sexuality also. I mean, I think it's like, you know, Beth and Natalia. They have the sexuality, but they have the, you know, the wrestling ability at the same time. And that's what the women's division needs. It's totally missing that. That's why, like, TNA, ever since TNA came around, I mean, those girls, I worked with Sojo, ODB, Tracy Brooks, Angelina Love. You know, I worked with all those girls. They're beautiful women, and they can wrestle. You know, that's why I've always been a big fan of TNA over WWE when it came to that, because they know how to work, they know how to tell a story, and they're beautiful. You know, but TNA, WWE, it's like, okay, you got beautiful women running around who don't know a damn thing. And that's what I think that's missing in the women's division. I mean, I've been all over on the indie circuit, and man, it's hard to find a girl who can actually wrestle. You know, that's why I like going up to Shimmer. You know, I was very fortunate to get a call. You know, talk to Dave and everything, talking about coming back and everything. And I mean, the girls up there, they have the knowledge, you know, and it's great because you have so many different styles on top of that, which is awesome.
I hear you, Reverend Natural. I hear you. Preach.
Yeah.
Preach. You know, do you think the reason, you know, not just WWE, but I guess any other company, you have these petite ladies, you know, they look good, but they don't pull moves off the way that those on the indie circuit? You think it's because of lack of training? Is it because maybe they weren't trained longer, or do you think
It's
they
just
were?
probably because they just thought they were pretty, and they'd be like, "Hey, you want to train? You want to be a wrestler? Okay." And then they're like, it's one of those things like, this is something that I want, so I'm going to put forth the effort to gain as much knowledge. Those girls, it's just given to them, so it's just like, I can be a pretty face out there and do like 5 moves, the magical 5 move set, and just do their thing, go back and pretend that they're a wrestler. I mean, I hate women's wrestling. Lord, do I hate it. There's, I mean, there's, like I said, like Shimmer women, Shine women, the TNA girl, most of the TNA girls, they bust their ass, like Trish Stratus, actually, I tell people she is probably the only girl that I give kudos to from crossing over and breaking that bridge, not just being a bimbo going, look at, she actually, she comes from a very athletic background, and I thought she did an amazing job, becoming a wrestler and everything. She's, like, she really, I think, to me, she took pride in what she did, and she wanted to learn and everything, and she became a really good wrestler.
I definitely appreciate Trish as well. Someone that came from the fitness modeling background, and started as a manager. Then she started wrestling.
Yeah.
Took some time and everything. Took her bumps in the road, but she wasn't afraid to go out there and compete. And because of that, she's gonna be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame next month. And
yeah,
she's
I think that's amazing.
she.
Like I said, she's probably the only female that the manager crossover that I can think of off the top of my head right now that I give total kudos to. She deserves it.
I'm definitely happy for her, and maybe she going from the modeling to the wrestling background. Maybe she set the ball high for the current ladies that just ain't able to live up, and WWE felt like, okay, we made Trish this, maybe we can make these other ladies this, and they don't need to be the next Trish Stratus, but at least take it seriously. At least show them that you want it. Because that's what Trish had to do. That's what anyone had to do. And it's just, you people should know when they need a lot of work. And some of these ladies should know that they have a long way to go. And I don't know. Maybe the money comes in, like, I'm getting paid a lot of money doing less. I don't know. It's just
yeah.
it's
That's what I like too. Is like there's a couple of the Shimmer girls down in what the hell is that, FCW, and Sarah Del Rey's down there.
Yeah.
Helping train. Sarah Del Rey's an amazing wrestler. Amazing. I stepped in the ring with her once. And that was in April of '03 when we were at the Cauliflower Alley Club, and that was we did a 3-way match with Sarah Del Rey. Her name was Nikki back then, and then cheerleader Melissa and myself. But she's an amazing wrestler, and I know she's helping train the girls down there and everything. Kudos to her, man. She can teach them a lot, and that's awesome. And like I said, Shimmer is like full of talent. It's great. That's I love going. I look forward. Well, I've only been there twice. I was back in there October 18th, 19th of 2008, and then just this last October, what was it, like the 28th, 29th, and everything. But it's just, amazing. They got the Joshi girls. They got talent from all over the world. Saraya Knight, love her. She's kind of like a Stone Cold Steve Austin female. I just love the different styles of wrestling that they have to offer there. The women work hard for what they do there. It's pretty much you put your full effort there, and that's what I love about you know, the indies, you know, especially like Shimmer, you know, because it's like you're trying to, you know, you're doing your best, you know, you want to move up those ranks, you know. And Shine, I haven't been down to Shine, but I mean, they use some of the Shimmer girls down there, and then they have, you know, the other girls, and I know quite a few of them, and I love them. They love the business, and that, I mean, they put forth that effort to put nothing but the best into their matches. That's what I love about Shine and Shimmer. The women there can work, and they're just great people.
I've been watching Shimmer for a few years now, mostly through clipwrestle.com, the downloads and everything. I check out the matches. I check out this wrestler named Kana. She's from Japan. Oh my goodness, these Japanese wrestlers can work. I mean, they've been doing, yeah, they've been doing things like I never seen Americans do. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if you go to Japanese wrestling, people, you better be. They're gonna put you to work.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna put you to work, no doubt about it. Before I let you go, Miss Natural, why don't you go ahead and promote your links, social network links, how people can get in touch with you.
Yeah, right now on my Facebook, I'm under Heather McQuinn, parentheses Patera. Also on Twitter, I never know my dang Twitter handle. I think it's Miss Natural 2000. Pretty much that's it. I mean, you can catch me in Metro Pro Wrestling in Kansas City. We've got TV in that area. I mean, Shimmer, I believe Shimmer is going to be doing an IPPV. I think that's a New Jersey one, I believe, I want to say. You got Sassy Stephanie on next, right?
Yeah, actually, I've already interviewed her. I've interviewed.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah. See, I was going to say you might want to double check on that IPPV because I think they're doing the New Jersey, the WrestleCon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're doing that as an internet pay-per-view, which is going to be amazing because it's, I believe, Cheerleader Melissa against Saraya Knight for the Shimmer Women's title in a cage match. So that's going to be fabulous. That's going to be one not to miss. Yeah, I mean, catch me, I mean, anywhere in the 10 Midwestern states right now, and hopefully Canada soon.
Canada, eh? That's
okay. I pretty much live in Canada. You know, I live in Minnesota, so.
Yeah, Canada by association or affiliation.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Well, Miss Natural, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. Thank you so much. I've always had fun interviewing you and your passion and your laughs and how you becoming a pastor and
yeah.
Reverend Natural. Ow. I mean, yes.
Natural.
Yeah, I think that's how announcers should pronounce you from now on. Like coming into the ring, Miss Natural. Ow.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. I think I'd bust up laughing.
Yeah,
I probably would. I laugh really easy out there, so.
Yeah, if you're a heel wrestler, that's probably gonna be difficult. But if you're a baby face, I mean, it's okay.
Yeah. No, I'm starting to enjoy being a baby face in some areas. So, like, usually when I'm up in Minnesota, I'm a baby face because I've been around for, 13 years. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny, like, being a baby face. I wear my Buzz Lightyear jacket out to the ring.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've seen that. I definitely have seen that. To infinity and beyond.
Yes. Oh, it's great.
All right, so you have a good night. You're always welcome on the show anytime. You know, just let me know, message me, tweet me, whatever, and I'll have you back on as you wish.
Definitely. Yeah, I had a pleasure talking. I won't bash women's wrestling as much. I love wrestling, so.
Yeah.
I'm a harsh critic.
Hey, we need people like Miss Natural. That's just calls it when you see it. I mean, I see nothing wrong with what you said. I mean, some good people, God bless them. They just need a lot of work. You know, I'm a fan. Hey, that's all I'm gonna say from a fan's perspective.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what? It's like, you know, I've been in this business, around this business for 13 years, and I still need There's always room for critiquing. Even, anybody and everybody in this business. It doesn't matter how old or how young. You never stop learning.
I definitely hear you. You have a good night, Miss Natural.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Have a good night.
All right. Bye bye.
Ah.
That was Miss Natural joining me here on the 100 show of Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. My fourth and final guest is WOW Women's Champion Amber O'Neal, joining me in a matter of moments. Feels like a party. You know, I'm giving you a variety of talent, people. I got you. You got your Leva Bates. You got your Sassy Steffi. You got your Miss Natural. Miss Natural Al. I think that's how I'm going to call her from now on. And it appears she's okay with it. So Amber O'Neal's calling in about a minute or two. Looking forward to that. And thank you, everyone that's supported this show since day one. You know, this show would not have made far if it weren't for you listeners. If it weren't for you wrestling fans. If it weren't for the wrestlers on the indie scene. The backbone of professional wrestling. You know, I told people this a lot. And I'm going to say it again. I've been a wrestling fan since the 1990s. Pre-Attitude Era. I became hooked. Now, I granted, it took me time to understand, the whole wrestling thing. I was just a fan, rooting, cheering. But as I grew older, I get wiser. I'm familiar with everything. Thank you all for the support. Amber O'Neal is calling in right now. Let's get her on. And ladies and gentlemen, my final guest of Triple Threat Wrestling Radio's 100 show. She is currently one half of the WOW Women Tag Team Champions. You know her for Arena Chicks. You know her as the Ice Queen herself. I am joined with Amber O'Neal right here, right now. Good evening, Miss O'Neal. What's going on?
Hi, everything's going good. How are you?
I'm doing well, good. And before we begin, I'm a fan of yours. I listen to the show Three-Way with Fire and Ice, and you have your introductions and everything. You do the Vanilla Ice thing, so I was wondering if we can start off the show with that. Just, introduce yourself, Ice Ice Baby Holla. If you can do that for me, I'll surely appreciate it.
Sure. Ice Ice Baby. Hello.
That made
it does make you happy, right?
Yes. I am a very happy man right now. So thank you for your time. Let's go ahead and begin. You are teaming up with Santana Garrett. You being the veteran, and she's being, the someone who's on the rise, on the way up. How did this team came together between you and Santana?
Well, first of all, I want to say happy 100th show, and thank you for having me on. And yes, I'm tagging with Santana at WOW. It's been an amazing experience. The thing that we keep hearing and the thing that we actually said to each other when we got the phone call that they were putting us together was we were like, I just never would have thought to put us together. It was just one of those things, like, I would have never thought to do it. I didn't think it was going to work. I really didn't. I knew Santana. I knew she was amazing. But, I just couldn't envision it. But when it happened and, we did our outfits together and they basically told us what they wanted us to look like. So we tried to get it as close to what they wanted. And it ended up, we're bouncing off of each other really well. Like, she's like the flippy, flashy one. I'm kind of like the old school comedy heel, like, of the two. But I'm still a baby face, but I still play myself. So it's really fun because, like, she's like the sweet, like, flippy, bouncy one, and I'm like the one that'll come in and really take care of business when it needs to get done, seriously, or the not so nice way. So I really like the dynamic, and I'm enjoying it. and I really love what WOW's doing, and I hope it does something really big. I know that it looks really big and it feels really big, so I have high hopes for it.
You being a champion definitely has to be a great thing. You know, whether you're an up and comer or in this case you're a veteran now. I mean, does it get old when you win a championship? It's gratifying. It's a great feeling. It's like a company believes in you. I mean, what's the feeling you get when you win a championship?
Well, the thing is, I still don't look at myself as a veteran. Like, I still feel the exact same way I did when I was 25, 26, 27, like, however. Like, it doesn't feel any different. Like, in my mind, I'm still doing the same damn thing, you know. I just feel like I'm more comfortable with it now than I was years prior. But no, that moment was like really surreal, and they told us they wanted us to have a real emotional speech, and they wanted to kind of capture that Shawn Michaels, winning the title crying kind of thing. And I'm used to being a heel, so I was like, okay, I'll do the best I can. But when that moment happened, the crowd that they bring is like really intense too, because it's not like your typical wrestling crowd. It's people that are at the casino that are coming to the show that the casino is like putting on that night, which is a really high quality production women's wrestling show. And it's a great crowd and they really get into it. And when we won, like they allowed the fans to like come ringside, which was a group of Marines, and it just felt really magical. And it was just very nicely done, and we didn't have to pretend to cry because it was an emotional moment. And Santana started shedding tears, and that made me cry, and it was like, the same. It was one of the most important things I feel like I've ever done. So it was a good moment.
So, why don't you give an update on the Arena Chicks? That's your company. That's your baby. You put it on the map, and it's not often that wrestlers, that's veteran. It's not often that wrestlers end up having companies of their own, and you have your own company. I hear you got some shows coming up with Arena Chicks. Talk about what's going on with Arena Chicks.
Okay. Well, the most recent thing is I am going to bring the All American Girls, which, I do feel like that WOW will be on television, and I just have no idea when at this moment in the United States. So I decided to be the one responsible for bringing the All American Girls to our pay-per-view first. So this the next Saturday, March 30th, is going to be myself and Santana versus Sue Young and Amanda Rodriguez, which is a girl that is up and coming at the High Spots Wrestling School. Therefore, I will be the one to help her out, being as I'm the local veteran in that area, and she's an awesome girl. She will do really well. So she's tagging with Sue, and we're going to have a match at the CWF in Atlantic show next week, week after next, which is CWF Mid-Atlantic. So I'm excited about that. And then WrestleCon week after that.
Oh, all right. So everybody, check that out. WrestleCon especially. Got off the phone with a couple other ladies. I believe will be there. Sassy Steffi will be there, and Leva Bates will be there as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's like that's a dream come true, for any wrestling fan out there. Amber,
I think
Sassy,
every wrestler in the
yeah,
entire world is going to
yeah.
be somewhere within that vicinity at one of those 20 shows going on that weekend. So it's going to be one heck of a reunion. I'm so excited.
And with that said, you're going to conventions, you've been in shows, you've been around talent that's been in the big leagues, or things like that. Um, what's the impression you get when you're out there, you're doing these shows, you've been around people that's been in the big leagues, and them coming back to how their career started, how anyone's career started on the indie circuit. We all know it's the backbone of professional wrestling. It's it's where it's at. It's how it all starts, how it begins, and I think it's good that wrestlers from the big leagues go back to where they came from, how it all started. I mean, how do you feel when you see these wrestlers
Um,
going back to the indie circuit?
well, here's the thing. Like, I think when you're in this business, we don't look at it like that because, um, well, I've spent my fair share of time like trying to also get contracts at WWE and TNA, therefore being there for a long period of many years trying out, meaning I traveled and worked with these so-called big league wrestlers that you're talking about very closely. So you do eventually get to know everyone in the business, no matter how high or how low their ranking may be, because it is a very closed-in world. So the thing that I notice is once you get into that level where you're working with them so closely, like I don't think that we look at ranking anymore. I know there's more egos that are bigger than others, and rightfully so, because when you achieve a certain level of success, obviously you're, you know, certain talented, so you're worth a shit and your opinion matters. But I think when everybody's your friend, like it's not like that. It's like, oh hey, it's good to see you again. And when someone's doing good, you're happy for them, and when they're part of something big, that's exciting. And I just kind of feel like we're just kind of all on the same level, just at different levels and point in times in our career. Sometimes people are doing good, sometimes people are doing bad, but we're all still there for the same reason, because we just love doing what we do.
Let me just say that I'm a huge fan of Three Way with Fire and Ice, and if I recall, if memory serves me correctly, I interviewed you before you did that show with Angel, and to see that show and that success and everything, it was great. I enjoyed your insight, you and Angel, y'all fed off of each other. It was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing. Um, I know y'all not doing a show these days. And you and Angel still keep in touch and everything.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I guess this is what people want to know, including myself, me being a listener and all. Is there any thought in the future that you and Angel will bring the show back, or y'all just focusing on your own things?
Well, I'm not sure. I can't answer that question 100%. If the right opportunity came along, and I had time, I would definitely consider doing another show. It is a big responsibility. I'm sure you know that because you have your own show. Like we were both wrestling full time, and she's working that real shoot job full time, and I am attempting to get a job in what I went to school for. But my schedule lately has been so busy, I've had to put it off. So I really want to focus on that this summer, and it's just a really big responsibility, and it's really time consuming, and I really enjoyed it, and I had a good time, and it was definitely a part of the industry that I hadn't done, and it was cool to learn how to do it and get to interview people and make connections and show people a different side of me than what they see in the ring, because really all anyone knows I can do is a freaking booty bot. So it was good to be able to show people I do have a point of view, and it may be a little different than what they assume, but it was really fun. Hopefully we'll do another one in the future, but it's definitely got to work with my schedule.
The Booty Bop, that's an Amber O'Neil original, and
It is.
it's an Amber O'Neil original, and I mean,
It sucks when people rip it off.
I mean, does it bother you when you see other wrestlers out there using your own move? I mean, do
Well,
you consider it?
it's so closely compared to the stink face, apparently, which I beg to differ, because I'm like, no, it takes talent to do a freaking booty bop. Anyone can sit on anyone's face. So I can't, in my opinion, I can claim it as an Amber Near original, but some people still want to call it a stink face. I correct people every time, but oh well.
Yeah, yeah. Big difference between those two, and this is kind of an odd situation we find ourselves in. But Rikishi, Rikishi shoves his backside towards the opponent's face. You just
Yeah.
you a complete different. You
Tell
just
people I'm ping ponging their head off my
yes,
ass.
it's
Like that's what it's supposed to be. Like boom, 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 boom.
yes. You know
Just the
that's
best
a great.
commentary ever for the Booty Bop. He was special guest commentator for this last PWX show where I was in a tag match against Maria and Mike Bennett, which was awesome, by the way. Everyone must buy this match. This whole show was just 5-star, like front, like beginning to end. Great show, great booking, and Shane Helms was on commentary, and he is the funniest thing commentating that match. Because first I gave a booty bot to Maria, and then Mike Bennett came in, and I dropped toe hold of him into her. So then I booty bot both of them, and his commentary is hilarious.
I definitely gotta check that out.
Everyone check it out.
I definitely gotta check that.
PWXPro.com.
I will definitely check it out. What is your favorite part of being a wrestler? What's the one thing that you like the most that when you go to a show, when you out there performing in the ring, doing what you do, what do you like the most of being a wrestler?
I definitely would have to say just performing and entertaining the crowd, and just there is something I do love about wrestling. There's something, that makes me feel really alive when I'm performing in front of people, whether they're booing or cheering. I'm learning how to embrace my inner baby face a lot more these days because I've been heel for so long, which I really love doing. And I prefer to be heel, but this WOW experience with Santana has challenged me to really have to pull off a really good, strong, like superhero type baby face. And we're actually doing it. So, I still to this day, get challenged because who would have ever said this point in my career, hey, by the way, we're going to have you come in with this, other girl who's 10 years younger than you, and we're going to put you guys together in a tag team, and we need you to be like superhero, like super baby face, like crowd has to love you, like you're representing like the all-American girls, like in the world, and you got to pull it off, and we did. So I would say just constantly learning and just showing myself that hey, you can still do this on any level, no matter what they tell you to do. You can do this, and it's definitely rewarding. So I would have to say that part.
Hey, if anyone can do it, Amber O'Neal can do it. She will make you look. She will make you look good, no matter if you're her opponent or her tag team partner. Hey, she got it going on, and she gonna get it.
Santana makes me look good too. It's definitely a team effort. She's amazing. I'm enjoying this opportunity to get to work with her because whether it be with WOW and we do it together, or it be with TNA or WWE, Santana Garrett is going places. And I'm so proud to be part of her up and coming.
Hey.
But like I said, we could be huge stars in WOW because from what I'm watching go on right before my very eyes, WOW is going to do very well.
Just the fact that you're saying WOW got me saying WOW as well. I mean, it's definitely a lot of great work. I seen some of the work, and I like what I've seen as well. It's under the radar right now, but I say some big network channel, whatever. Get WOW, get a dose of WOW. You won't be disappointed, and it's a lot of fun. Well, Amber,
WWE.com.
There you go. Well, Amber, I appreciate you joining me, and thank you for being on ending the show. Final guest of this milestone show. Again, congrats to you and Santana being tag team champions,
Thank you.
and just continuing your successful career. I mean, thank you for your time. You walked it out. I appreciate having you on.
Well, thank you for having me. You're a blast.
You have a good night, Amber.
You too. Happy anniversary to your show.
Thank you so much. You have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. That was Amber O'Neal wrapping things up here. Actually, that's gonna wrap up the interview portion of the show because I still got a lot of recapping to do. So let's go ahead and get to it. I'm gonna recap Raw real quick here. Monday Night Raw kicked off with Cena getting focused for this match at WrestleMania. Gets interrupted by primetime players Darren Young and Titus O'Neil's new alter ego, Rufus Pancake Patterson. Let me repeat that again. Rufus Pancake Patterson. Unbelievable. That's I don't know. It's got a nice swing to it. Rufus prime time Titus O'Neil sounds more PTP-esque than, you know. You got prime time players, millions of dollars. You know, you're trying to, you know, a lot of swag, if you will, minus Jack's swagger part. So Cena goes on to defeat Darren Young. Ryback defeats David Otunga. After that, Ryback gets on the microphone and pretty much made it clear. He made it pretty clear that he wants the Shield and he's going to deal with Mark Henry. Well, Vicky Guerrero, the manager supervisor, had other ideas for Mr. Ryback. Those ideas is that he has been removed from the tag team match, for the 6-man tag team match against the Shield. Instead, he'll go one-on-one with Mark Henry. So it looks like Ryback is going to have his revenge with the Shield some other time. Then Undertaker versus CM Punk. I don't know about y'all. I'm not feeling real comfortable with WWE bringing up Paul Bear, you know, into the storyline between Taker and, I mean, that's a slippery slope. Knowing that Undertaker, you know, Paul Bear was a huge part of Undertaker's career. That's a slippery slope. I understand wrestlers, you got to go through certain storylines. There's always going to be things that wrestlers got to be uncomfortable doing. This is beyond uncomfortable. Paul Bear passed away a couple of weeks ago. Okay, it's not like the guy died a year or two ago. He passed away a couple of weeks ago. And the fact that WWE is doing this, bringing his name into light, and CM Punk's got to be the guy, got to be all rude and so disrespectful. And then you got the urn, you know, and then he dropped the S-bomb. He said, "Oh shit," we all heard it. I think USA just wasn't quick enough to press the censor button. You know, we got the SH part. We just didn't get the it part. The S-Ace. I'm just saying. And then you got Fandango. I'm going to just call him that. And Chris Jericho, he was funny as hell towards Fandango. But Fandango, I'm not going to pronounce his name that way. No, I'm not that guy. I'm not doing that shit. Not doing that. Supposed to have a match with Great Khali. He actually gets in the ring this time. Khali comes out second. And all Fandango wants is for Natalya to pronounce the name. and she pretty much gets what's the one I'm looking for? Pretty much gets Great Khali to chase him down. So again, now the question is he gonna have a freaking match before WrestleMania? It's less than 2 weeks away. Got SmackDown. Got another wall. Got main event as well. He hasn't been on main event yet, but I don't see him being on main event until after he eventually get that first match in. And you got R-Truth defeated Damien Sandow. Team Hell No defeated Primo and Epico after the AJ gets involved with her skipping self. That didn't distract Team Hell No long enough. You also have Kofi Kingston losing to Dolph Ziggler. And speaking of which, after Ziggler defeated Kofi, out comes Team Hell No challenging Ziggler and Big E Langston in a tag team match at WrestleMania. AJ responds, you know what? Ziggy, as she referred to him, would like the tag team titles to be put on the line. Team Hell No said, yeah, we'll put the go on the line. Let's make sure that Biggie and Ziggy get ready. Booker T gets inducted into the Hall of Fame as a brother. I'm happy for Booker T. I've been a fan of Booker T since his WCW days. And to see him get this opportunity, you think of African American wrestlers throughout the years. You think of Soul Man Walkie Johnson. You think of Coco Beware. You think of, what was the other people? Juan Simmons, Junkyard Dog, all those guys I mentioned, by the way, all Hall of Famers. But if you think championships, when it comes to African Americans, Booker T's at the top. Can you say decorated? WCW champion 5 times. I believe he won the television title multiple times, tag team titles multiple times with the Harlem Heat. Came to the WWE. He's definitely remembered for his tag team with Goldust in the Attitude Era. Those two were hilarious together. They had that Rock and Mankind appeal to it. Just totally different guys. Booker T still had that Booker T swag to him. And Goldust, well, he was Goldust. He was bizarre. You had Czar and Booker T, then Bizarre. And then he flipped his Booker T character to King Booker when he won King of the Ring, won the World Heavyweight title. Booker T, man, he was big time. And when he won the World Heavyweight Championship for WCW for the first time, it was special. Now, Juan Simmons, he will go down as the first ever African-American world champion for a major company. Juan Simmons paved the way for Booker T, and now Booker T has paved the way for a Kofi Kingston, a R-Truth, Ezekiel Jackson, Mark Henry. Paved the way for those guys. Can Kofi Kingston be that next big African-American talent? He has won a majority of championships throughout his career. But Booker T, he's in a class by his own. Congratulations, Booker T, being inducted into the Hall of Fame class of 2013. Can you say best Hall of Fame class ever? Sammartino, Backlund, Foley, Stratus, Trump, and now Book? I can dig that. Del Rio goes in to defeat Cody Rhodes. Swagger attacks both Del Rio and pretty much broke the ankle of Ricardo Rodriguez. You know, it's all this talk about immigration. It is crazy. It is intense. It's out of control, actually. It's just flat out crazy. I tell you that much. And then, obviously, the huge Wade Barrett versus The Miz versus Chris Jericho. That was the match of the night, people. It may have started off as, I'm not so sure about this. I'm not so sure about this whatsoever. But in the end, it turned out to be great. It was great. It was a great match. Miz, Barrett, and Jericho held it down. That was the match of the night. Barrett goes on to retain his Intercontinental title. So Mr. Dead Man Down is standing up on this one. And then came the contract signing between Triple H and Brock Lesnar. In order for the WrestleMania match to be official, all Brock Lesnar, or better, all Triple H had to do is sign a contract and let Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman pick the stipulation. So it gets all dramatic. Paul Heyman comes out with security. Triple H by him lonesome. And then Mr. Heyman decides to get all personal. Triple H, not appreciating the words that's coming out of Heyman's mouth, grabbing him, got him on top of the table, signed the contract on top of Heyman. And then Brock Lesnar, not too happy. He's breaking the steer chair. He's on his way to the ring, but Triple H, you damn sure know he's not, that he's not going to be in for he's not going to go in there with someone with a weapon in hand without his beloved sledgehammer. So, as Raw was going off the air, Paul Heyman announced the stipulations. The first stipulation, that it is a no holds bar match. That's number one. Number two is that Triple H's wrestling career is on the line. And after all that has happened to the Nature Boy Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels, good friends of Triple H, by the way, their wrestling careers have ended at WrestleMania. Will Triple H end up with the same fate, just like his fellow friends? Hall of Fame friends, to be exact. We shall wait and see. Main event, Barrett defeated Truth. Confronted Miz, they go at it. Layla and Natalya defeated Alicia Fox and Oksana. Primetime Players loses to the Usos. And yes, Titus O'Neil was just Titus O'Neil. No Rufus Pancake Patterson. I would love to see that gimmick back. Pancake Patterson. I ain't gonna lie. Look, he looked like he looked like a Tyson Perry, a Medea-like character. Tyler Perry. Yeah, Tyler Perry. That's his name. Pancake Patterson looked like a Tyler Perry character. He really did. How about Titus O'Neil getting included in the Tyler Perry film? You never know. WWE loves to expand. They love to do these movies. Why not give a brother such as Titus O'Neil an opportunity? Now on to Impact. Impact, well, how do I say this? Exactly how do I say this? TNA took a trip into Bully Ray 9 months of fooling the fans and the roster that led to him being the president of Aces and Eights. And that was damn compelling, more than he would have done a 20-minute promo explaining it all. So TNA did very well on that. Bobby Roode and Austin Aries defeated Chavo and Hernandez to retain the tag team belts. Then they get attacked by Bad Influence, Christopher Daniels, and Kazarian. And then this X Division Evolution is born. Kenny King defeated Zema Ion and Sanjay Dutt to retain the X Division title. Brooke Hogan announced that Tarantino has been terminated as a referee, but she's been hired as a wrestler. What I think about Taryn Terrell, I seen her wrestle in WWE and I seen her wrestle in OVW. She has potential, but she's got a lot of work to do. You know, the Impact Knockout division, it's a lot. The competition is more intense than those WWE divas. You know, she's at the bottom right now. Can she work her way to the top? Can she become a future champion? You know, it's a matter of waiting to see. But she's got a lot of work to do. Matt Morgan goes to defeat Joseph Park. AJ gets interviewed by Mike Tenay. You got Taz inviting him to be a part of Aces and Eights. Then comes James Storm confronting him. AJ didn't even say a word. Left the arena, left the ring. You know, it's good to see TNA expanding themselves on the road. No longer just on the Impact Zone. They're gonna be all over the country now. They're gonna be going overseas more often. So it's good that after 8 years being at one place mostly every week, they're gonna be traveling. Now they don't have the WWE schedule per se, but at least they expand it. It's a start. If the shows are good, if if the shows are good, if the fans want more, then maybe TNA will give the fans more. But it's a start. You got to start somewhere. As they say, you got to crawl before you walk. Right now, TNA got the training wheels on as it pertains to being on the road. They're only doing maybe 2-3 shows. Like WWE do 3-4 shows a week. So, more than that, if you count, depending on who gets the most, Raw and SmackDown shows live and house shows. But TNA, good for them. You know what? Yeah, that's it. That concludes the TNA Impact recap. Oh, by the way, Jeff Hardy won the Fatal 4-Way match. He will be the number one contender for the World Heavyweight title, currently held by Bully Ray. Now, my last segment, this day in wrestling history. I'm just getting a tweet as of 18 minutes ago from @AmberO'Neil1. She tweets, "Thank you for having me on your 100th anniversary show. #good times." That is so sweet. Thank you so much, Amber. I truly appreciate it. I enjoy Amber. I enjoy Miss Natural. I enjoy Leva, and I enjoyed Steffi. We talked a variety of things. This is mostly a wrestling show, but I'm not shy to talk about other things. You know, catch people off guard at times. And now for my last segment of the evening is this day in wrestling history. On March the 21st, it was on this day in 2001 the final WCW Thunder airs on TBS. In 2004, Jeff Jarrett defeated Latin Lover to win the AAA Rey de Reyes tournament. The results were stricken from the AAA records when they and TNA ended their working relationship, though it was reinstated when the companies resumed their relationships in 2010. In 2011, Jimmy Superfly Snuka was inducted into the Gerweg.net Hall of Fame, securing 79% of readers' votes. In 1991, WCW New Japan Super Show, known as Starrcade 1991, in the Tokyo Dome in Japan, was held in Tokyo. And it was the first show of its kind crossover promoting an American and Japanese promotion. However, it didn't air in America until April. Included in this match was Jushin Lighter defeated Akira Noguyomi to win the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. Steiner Brothers, Rick and Scott, defeated Hiroshi Hashi and Kazuki Sasaki. I think this is hilarious, the fact that y'all hearing me trying to pronounce these Japanese dudes. I'm trying. The Great Muta defeats Sting. Ric Flair loses to Tatsumi to win the NWA World title. Flair did retain the WCW title as New Japan considered them separate entities, despite WCW considering them the same championship at the time. In 1997, on this day, was the WWF Slamming Wars held in Chicago. Rocky Maivia won the New Sensation Award. Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart from One Match of the Year. Undertaker won Best Entrance Music. Shawn Michaels' Sweet Chin Music wins Best Finisher. Goldust and Marlena wins Best Couple. That's Terry Reynolds, by the way. Steve Austin wins Freedom of Speech Award. Undertaker wins Superstar of the Year. Arnold Scarland wins the Lifetime Achievement Award. And Sable wins Miss Salami. Also, in 1999, ECW Living Dangerously was held in Asbury Park, New Jersey. RVD defeated Jerry Lynn to retain the television title. New Jack defeated Mufasa. New Jack defeated Mustafa. I'm trying, people. Give me a break. Spike Dudley and Nova defeated the Dudley Boys, Bubba Way. Nova was injured during the match and was replaced by Sid Vicious. Tommy Dreamer and Shane Douglas defeated the Impact Players. Lance Storm and Just Incredible. Taz, with 1Z, defeats Sabu to unify the FTW title and ECW World title. In 2010, Destination X was held in Orlando, Florida. Kazarian defeated Daniels, Amazing Red, and Brian Kendrick in a fatal four-way. Terra defeats Daphne to retain the knockout title. Rob Terry defeats Magnus to retain the global title. The Band, Scott Hall and Six Pac defeated Eric Young and Kevin Nash to win TNA contracts. Doug Williams, who's the OVW champion again, defeated Shannon Moore to retain the X Division title. Matt Morgan and Hernandez defeated Beer Money, that's Storm and Rude, to retain the tag team gold. AJ Styles fought Abyss to a no contest. When Styles was chokeslammed through the ring, Styles retained the TNA World title. Got a lot of things that happened on this day. 1984, Harley Race defeated Ric Flair to win the NWA World title. And happy birthday to three-time AWA Light Heavyweight Champion Buck Zumhofe at the age of 62. Today would have been the birthday of former ECW and WWF Tag Team Champion Chris Candido, 41. And that is all that took place this day in wrestling history on March the 21st. Before I get on out of here, I want to thank the following people. I want to thank Amber O'Neal. I want to thank Miss Natural, Sassy Steffi, and Leva Bates all for joining me. Well, remember, this is our new home, Triple Threat Wrestling Radio on Ustream.tv. Next week, we'll be back to our regular 1-hour show and recapping and so much more. You all have a good night. I am out of here. My name is Kenny C, and I am out of here. You all have a good night. Kenny C is out. Peace out. And thank you for the memories. And here's to many more.